Welcome, everybody, to Overreaction Lunes with the Compas. I'm Fernando Ramirez. That is Gilbert Manzano. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? I'm just glad you stuck to the question. What's up, bro? You didn't ask me. Will I keep calling defensive plays? Stop asking me, Fernando. No more defensive plays. I
That
guess questions. Sorry. I did not even see that. That's awesome.
I thought that's why you were going off of it.
That was like I was trying to make up a quick intro joke, and I just thought about it. But perfect. Isn't that
Yeah,
our
no,
friend
that's
from Chile? Our friend from
that's our
Chile,
compa
right?
from Chile. Yeah. So, and then he also, and no, I will not be calling the defense. But he also said, "Feliz lunes, great F1 weekend. Do not talk about the Chargers. Talk about the great Max Verstappen." I think I'm actually a huge Verstappen fan. So, yeah, I saw
I
all
have
this stuff
no idea who
about.
that was, by the way, Fernando. I heard somebody mention it like this weekend in the NFL. I'm like, what the hell is a Max Verstappen?
You don't watch the F1 show on
I
Netflix?
haven't, but
You need to
I
watch
want
it.
to though. I do want to watch it.
You need to watch it. It's literally like the Kardashians meets what's that thing called? Hard Knocks, like all this stuff. Like it's the F1 show is awesome. Like I think like, that's why the sport is
Let me
yeah,
see.
the sport has grown in the United States because everybody likes that show, and it's like a reality show. Like it's so awesome to see. Like you see like I mean, I'm not trying to be messed up or whatever, but you see the crashes and everything, and you're like, oh crap, like and like they get into it. It's crazy.
It was Russell Wilson. He called an audible and he mentioned that. That was audible. I think the Cortland
Oh,
Sutton, I think it was the fourth and one for the on the game winning drive.
yeah,
He called an
yeah, yeah.
audible and he called it that. And I'm like, what the hell is that? That was like some kind of like weird like potion to give you powers or something. It was
Oh,
really
shouldn't
I
they
was
give you?
I was
This
I
isn't
was
Harry
I
Potter,
was
dog.
way off, bro. But okay, yeah.
I mean, basically, I mean, if we're really looking at it, Russell Wilson is stuck in neutral. So, I
There you
mean,
go. He needed
they're
to
winning though. They're winning, but he's stuck in neutral. So, whoa, what is this? Thier is saying that he will not be here after today. Then who am I supposed to fight with? And
Oh
who am I
man, what
supposed to fight
happened?
with?
Well, hopefully
I
you're
don't know.
good at the year. Hopefully
Yeah.
nothing
Hopefully
bad.
everything's good at Thier. Oh, that is true. Lewis Hamilton. Yeah. He did buy into the
I
that
know
dude
that
has.
person. Yeah, I know that driver.
Yeah, I bet you know that one. Yeah, there's another. Here's another one. Our compa from Chile. Everybody, yeah. No, I forgot that Lewis Hamilton was one of the owners of the Broncos. That I'm telling you, like Tom Brady has part ownership of bringing him. I can't say the name. I'll butcher it. But like
You
people
tried.
cross own, like LeBron
Yeah,
with Liverpool
yeah.
and all that. So yeah, no, Lewis Hamilton, I completely forgot about that. That he was a part owner of the Broncos. So yeah, I mean, people do that a lot, and I think it's awesome. But yeah, I mean, time to get into the nitty gritty.
Mm.
Uh, Gilbert, I guess. Obviously, uh,
Hey.
Birmingham City. Sorry, Birmingham City. That's what I was trying to say. That's a team that Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid star, that's where he came out of. So obviously, it's a really small club. They retired his jersey at like 17 years old, and everybody's like, "Why are you doing that?" It's like
I
unheard
have
of.
no idea what you're talking about, Fernando. Let's get to some real American football. How about that?
All of a sudden, freaking Captain America here. All right. Yeah, let's get to it. Obviously, rough game for the Chargers. They lose 23-20 to the Green Bay Packers in a game where we still didn't know much about Jordan Love, like what kind of a player Jordan Love had been in the past when Aaron Rodgers had been hurt. We had seen some stints from him. And maybe a lot of Charger fans hadn't seen him this year, but this year he had struggled offensively, and he didn't struggle on Sunday. 27-40, 322, 2 touchdowns. Really, it's just incredible to see what happened on Sunday. I mean, let me just go to this side. Justin Herbert, 21-36, 262 touchdowns. He was the leading rusher, 8 carries, 73 yards. And then Keenan Allen, 10 catches, 116 for 1 touchdown. But Gilbert, obviously, everybody's talking about it. What happened after the game where Brandon Staley was a little bit heated when it came to some of the questions that the media were asking. And it was a bad look in my opinion. I don't know how much you got to see of the game, but just right now. What was your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I'll start this way. I think people are trying to divide it. Like, okay, Brandon Staley's defense messing up, or Justin Herbert not coming through in crunch time. Like, I think you should look at it as a collective unit. Neither side, even you want to count special teams, is doing anything, and that falls on the head coach. Like Brandon Staley calls defensive plays. He's a head coach of the team. He runs everything, and nothing right now is clicking. So I think that's why he should be at fault. But I think people are wasting their time with the defensive play calling and defense improvement. That's part of it, but he's overseeing the entire operation. Like if Staley's trying to say, "Well, look at my defense, like we're playing better." Well, what
You're
about
not
the
the
offense?
defensive coordinator.
Yeah, like okay, like is it trying to be you against Kellen Moore? No, it's supposed to be an entire unit here. And yeah, we heard Rapshi saying, "Well, it wasn't the defense fault." Yeah, I get it. Quentin Johnson dropped the ball. Austin Eckler had a fumble. But Fernando, you know this team better than anybody else. The last decade, 20 years, 60 years, whatever you want to call it, they don't come through in crunch time. They don't win these games when it's one score games, and somebody has to fix it. And I don't know if it's Brandon Staley or not. Maybe it's a Tom Telesco thing, but way too many years, year after year after year, they don't win in crunch time. That's the way I view it, Fernando. And I've covered this team for 4 years closely. They don't do that, and somebody needs to come in and fix the mistakes, the discipline, the flags, the missed tackles. Like everybody's arguing about the defense versus Justin Herbert, but make a tackle. Don't get a terrible flag like Sante Samuel. There you go. I'm forgetting, but there's just so many plays after plays. It kind of felt like your typical Chargers game, right, Fernando?
I mean, this is what Brandon Staley said after the game. Every week we were talking about fundamentals. Every week we show the officiating videos. Every week we're talking about it. All we continue to do is emphasize it. I know that our coaching staff is doing that. I know the message is getting across. We're not executing on the field. So we're not getting the execution on the field. So basically that tells me, yeah, we're all doing this as a coaching staff, but so it's on the players. That's what I get from that quote. I mean, and I understand what you mean. I mean, they've never gone out. I mean, as the Spanos family, they've never gone out and gotten a coach that is going to come in, and the only one was Marty Schottenheimer, hard ass coming
Good point.
in. This is what we're going to do. Raiders week. You guys want to go over there and shake hands with those guys? BS. You guys are going to get pissed. That's why, like a couple of years ago, I remember everybody laughed at me because I asked, "Hey, it's Raiders week. What do you guys think?" And the players were like, "Oh yeah, no, it's just another week." No, well, I just remember that's not the way it used to be. Like before, it used to be like the players hated each other. They would talk crap leading up, and then it'd be a big game. But yeah, I mean, there seems to be a disconnect. And for anybody saying that it was Justin Herbert, I think that's just clown stuff that people keep on saying. I saw an individual who keeps on beating that same damn drum every single week. Herbert threw it, and it was right in Quentin Johnson. Like Quentin Johnson should have walked into the end
Yeah,
zone,
wide open.
and it went through his hands. I know after I saw the clip after the game, he admitted fault. I'm sure he feels terrible, but it's just one of those things where it just went through his hands, and there was multiple drops in this game. It easily could have been a 35-23 game. But there were some drops. Keenan Allen had some drops.
Yeah.
He made up for it in the fourth quarter when he caught that one touchdown. I mean, you don't make up for it, but at the same time, I mean, he still had a big game. So yeah, just the same repeated stuff from every single year. I mean, this is the typical kind of thing that we've seen from the last two head coaches before Staley. First 2 years, they have solid years. The third year is when it starts going downhill. We're at that point now.
Yeah, good
The
point.
third year, it's
Because
starting to go.
Layden made the playoffs year 2, right? And then Staley made
Yeah,
the playoffs year 2. Huh.
yeah, yeah. So and we're in this point, and then Mike McCoy made it year one, almost made it year two, but they I think I remember that game. Philip Rivers got sacked like 7 times against the Chiefs, and they didn't make it in. So it's just one of those. And then another thing is, your defense keeps on allowing guys to have career games. I mean, Tyreek Hill 215, Travis Kelce 175, Amon-Ra St. Brown last week. I told you after the game they could have been playing flag football and he would have walked into the end zone on that touchdown. It's just a lot of miscommunication on the play on that last touchdown where Wicks catches that touchdown pass. Or no, it wasn't Wicks. It was
The Green Bay
let me get
game?
that right. Dobbs, where Dobbs catches
Oh.
that touchdown pass at the end of this game. Derwin James runs up and tells Kenneth Murray, dude, there's somebody out there. Go get him. Go get him. Kenneth Murray kind of pays attention last second, starts running out there. The ball snapped. Him and Michael Davis run into each other in a sense. And then and Michael Davis is trailing Josh Dobbs. Romeo Dobbs, sorry. He's trailing Romeo Dobbs, and you're like that's the miscommunication that you see. And then Michael Davis with that missed tackle, and then the flag. I mean, it's just the continuation of all this stuff that we've kind of seen these 3 years. And I mean, he's at the point where he's getting defensive, and I get it, but you're the head coach of this team. You're the one that's supposed to do that. And so, yeah, I just think this season in general hasn't looked good on them because, I don't know, it's just been kind of a cluster F. And I get it. Some people like the fun stuff of, oh, you lost 2-1-2, lost 2. That's not it. It's just they're beating the bad teams and the good teams. But they're in, I mean, the thing is, yeah, they're in these games, but you have to find a way to win these games, and that's just not what they're doing, despite what's going on. But it's crazy to see what's kind of going on with this team, because there was high hopes coming into this season, and they just kind of unraveled ever since.
There's always high hopes around. I feel like this team is always having high hopes, but then they're hype and they always seem to fail. And Fernando, I just want to read Juan Ayala's comment, just to kind of paraphrase. Like, every quarterback feels like they're going to have a great game against this Chargers defense. Jordan Love, like you mentioned, Fernando, was doing nothing for the last 2 months. Yeah, he had a kind of a good start, like 2-3 games, but he had done nothing. And then he's dishing it to Romeo Dobbs and guys I had never even heard of when you were mentioning the names right now. So that just tells you everything right there about this defense. And it's not a good look where Brandon Staley is getting very defensive and very angry, because to me, it feels like a coach has to prove himself. Look at what my defense has done. And he's kind of taken this road of like, forget about last year, forget about the year before. This year, we're actually better. Like, no, you have one of the highest paid defensive units in the NFL. You paid Derwin James, you paid Joey Bosa, you didn't pay Khalil Mack, but he's getting paid a lot of money. Casey Jackson was a big time failure. You even paid Vato Davis, Michael Davis. He hasn't really done anything. You drafted a second round pick in Asante Samuel Jr. You brought in Eric Kendricks. Like, what else do you want? You signed Austin Johnson and Sebastian Joseph Day, who I haven't even heard of all year. These two guys here. So, what has this defense done? And that falls on you as the defensive coordinator, the play caller, whatever. You've already had a switch from Ronaldo Hill to Fernando. Help me out here.
Derek Gansley.
So, whatever is going on, and you already fired the special teams coordinator. You already fired offensive coordinator. What else can you do, Brandon Staley? It's on him. And Fernando, like, the way you want to maybe summarize it, has this team even gotten better since the Anthony Lynn days? Like, the Anthony Lynn days, like, I don't see them missing that many tackles or playing that poorly defensively. Yeah, it got really bad. Maybe offensively, the Kellen Moore era, which is very brief, is doing better. I can't even tell, but there's been very minimal progress, and I think that's the way you judge it, especially a team like, when the bar is set this high with so much talent. Like, you can't have 2 steps forward from the Lynn era. Like, what have you really done? And I know Rex Ryan is boys with Anthony Lynn, but Rex Ryan went off on Brandon Staley today. I don't know if you caught that, saying go back to D3 coaching.
But yeah, I saw that. I saw Keyshawn Johnson, but you can tell they're all boys with Anthony Lynn. So, like, obviously they're going to come out and defend.
But if you want to keep it real, like, I think maybe the Lynn era they're a little better. I feel like I don't even know what's going on here with the Staley era, because you have Justin Herbert in his prime, and you're still, fumbling execution in all phases, not just defense. Like, win a freaking 1-score game. I think they've lost 5 games by less than 5 points for now. I could be wrong here, but that's coaching. That's execution. That's on you as the head coach, not as you as a defensive play caller. That's for you. Like, look at the Steelers. They're outgained every single week, but they're 6-4 because you know why? They win in the fourth quarter. This team doesn't.
Yeah, no, definitely. If the season's lost, is it over? Is it time to reset and clean house? Yes or no? Depends on what you mean by clean house. I mean, you have playmakers on this team. I mean, you have Keenan, you have Justin Herbert, you have Derwin James, and I kind of think that's. Well, I mean, I guess you kind of would be. It just depends on who the next head coach. Sorry, my bad. It just depends on a lot of way,
Fernando. Like, I know maybe these other guys got 4 years, but. I was trying to do like a poll. Who's going to be next? It could be either Brandon Staley, Ron Rivera, Matt Eberflus, or Frank Reich. Like, all these franchises, all the coaches are in different years. One's 1 year, one's 2 years, and other one's 3 years, I think, or 4.
Yeah.
but they've all vastly underperformed, and all four of those teams they lost in embarrassing fashion. We're like, okay, who's going to be next here? And I think Brandon Staley gets the most heat because his talent. He has Justin Herbert and so much talent, and I get what you're saying about the whole Herbert. People pointing the finger at him. I want to be critical because he gets paid a lot of money, but he put that ball right in Quentin Johnston's hands,
Yeah.
and I don't want to also get on the kid too because we knew about his issues with dropping balls, and that kind of came at a tough moment. Hopefully, he can learn from that. But that's on Tom Telesco. That was his draft pick. That was
Yeah.
a guy he wanted to go all in for. So, you know, I feel like this franchise hasn't done enough to help Herbert. Yes, it could be better. Yes, it could, maybe not miss a couple of throws in the Tennessee game or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, I'm always judging by the collective unit. And when you do that, it's the main guy, the GM, and the head coach. I think Staley and Telesco.
Bosa news. We'll find out in about 30 minutes when we talk to Brandon Staley. So we'll see what happened. Yeah, it kind of did look bad, but maybe they'll get some good news. We'll find out in a bit. But yeah, no, and that's kind of the thing. Like, well, we're losing next week. Here's Navy uniforms.
By the way, credit to you. You called this Packers loss. I was like, well, I don't know, Fran. I could win that one, but yeah, you got it right.
I'm gonna be honest, and you're probably gonna like laugh at me. I don't know if they're gonna I don't know if they can win another game this season.
Damn. They
Like
play
I
the
look at
Ravens.
all the
Ravens Sunday Night Football, right?
yeah, that one's gonna be tough. Oh my bad. I did forget about Tooley and I did forget about Slater. But no, the presser on Mondays is just for media. So yeah, it won't be live. So that's just for
Follow
media.
Fernando's Twitter, by the way.
Yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll get all the updates. Appreciate that plug. But I don't know. I don't know what. See, Dennis, I'm sorry, but I don't agree with this. Like, I think Derwin is one of the best safeties in the NFL. I think it's because of kind of everything around him that is the reason why you might be thinking that. But I think Derwin. Anytime, Chris. Anytime. Thank you for jumping on with us. But I really think that Derwin is still one of the best safeties in the NFL. It's just that they're having him do so much and they're spreading him thin. And he has to worry about everything that he's playing a little bit. He's spreading himself too thin, in my opinion. But I still think the dude is legit. And I still think he's one of the best safeties in the NFL. But it's just this defense is a mess. But
It could look very different though, Fernando, with all the cap issues. Like maybe
yeah.
Bosa could be on the way out. Maybe Khalil Mack. I don't know what's
Well,
gonna happen.
the big four are Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Joey Bosa, and Khalil Mack. So maybe three, maybe two.
I feel like the only one that might be maybe Keenan might be the only one that's safe because he makes an impact. But Mike Williams in crunch time is really big too. I don't know.
Yeah, and the thing is too is that Keenan, like I told you last week, Keenan, I think with the way he plays, I think he could do this for a long time. Like
probably get like a restructured deal with a little more years and less money on the cap, something like that.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is that I was looking it up the other day. I had Dan and Dago. We were looking at it to see about Keelan's longevity and everything. Gilbert, listen to this. T.O. and I know T.O.'s game was completely different from Keenan, but T.O. till the age of 35. Like, listen to this. So Keenan's 31. T.O. at 32, at 33. 85 catches, 1,180 yards, 13 touchdowns. At age 34, 81 catches, 1,355, 15 touchdowns. Age 35, 69 catches, 1,052 yards, 10 touchdowns. Even in his last season in the NFL, 72 catches, 983 yards, 9 touchdowns at 37 years old. So, it can be done. The dude's a blueprint, but
just the way he plays too. He's so savvy that he wins, with the fundamentals and being smart up here. Like, it's not all on being athletic. It's like, okay, I know where to go, the spots here in the zone, what to do in man covers. Like,
but
he's
that's
so
the thing
smart.
is that Keenan has the physical at one point is gonna start dwindling a little bit. As long as you have this, you'll be able to move
It's
around
like when I know
and
it's a terrible analogy, but when Kobe Bryant got to the older age, he just kind of focused on the mid-range game and
yeah,
kind of picking his
yeah, yeah,
spots,
yeah.
not being athletic. Like things like that just they matter when you get older in all sports.
Exactly, exactly, and that's why Antonio Gates was able to go till
Yeah,
about
great
37 years
route
old.
runner. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and it's funny because you ask Keenan, who did you look up to when it came to route running, and he'd be at Gates, and you're like a tight end, but yeah, Gates, that's what he was. I mean, the dude was was um I'll answer this. Jesse, I mean, the only reason why there would be a benefit, I guess, is if you feel like these guys could, if you can make the playoffs and make a deep run because your team needs a juice. The only other reason I could see it is like, I mean, and this is just individual. Like, say that you have an OC or a DC or like a special teams coach that you think, oh, you know what, maybe he could be something. You give him kind of a dress rehearsal the next few weeks and you see kind of what they have. Like right now, Antonio Pierce, in my opinion, is a dress rehearsal. And I mean, you saw what they did on Sunday. They kept the Dolphins down to 20 points. I was really impressed by what the Raiders were able to kind of do against the Dolphins team that was averaging like 42 points per game at home.
Because they're just physical. You know what Antonio Pierce did
Exactly.
quickly? He found an identity. Okay, this is who we are. We know our limitations and our weaknesses. So let's just freaking run the football with Josh Dobbs and do a couple of play actions for Devontae. And actually, we're not that bad on defense. Like he noticed that right away. With the Chargers, I can't even tell what the hell their identity is. And it's been 3 years of Brandon Staley. That kind of tells you, like, it's really slow, snail's pace progress, if you want to call it progress.
Yeah. Jesse, thank you so much for asking a question. Ravens will gain 1,000 yards, score 70 points. I just pray Herbert comes out of this alive. You know what's funny? This one's funny. Real quick before we move on, is this the Marlon McCree curse? We lost the game. Marty gets fired, and we get teased year after year. I don't know if it's the curse or not, but man, that play, I just saw it recently. I think NFL. Somebody was like passing the play along, and I was like, "Gee," I think I saw it on Twitter. I was like, God, dude, all you needed to do was go down, but you saw open lane, you thought you could score. Yeah, no, I mean, definitely when Marty left, it was it kind of took the sails out a little bit of the out of the organization because Norv comes in. Yeah, he was a good offensive mind, but the defense kind of struggled until Ron Rivera took over. So yeah, it's just bad. This is a complaint I've seen a lot of.
Yeah.
Our cornerbacks playing. Yeah, they're playing. Yeah, I saw that yesterday as well. I mean, it's just um it's not good, but
This is how bad it's gotten from. Like we're here about to go to week 12, and the Chargers are in last place in the AFC West. Who would have thought that the Chargers would be like? You would have told me 2 months ago, hey, by week 12, Chargers dead last in the AFC West. I'm like, you're not thinking there because you have the Broncos and the Raiders, and here they are in the bottom. That's how bad it's gotten, Fernando.
yeah, I completely
And I'm
agree.
trying to think about like who could be like an interim head coach on this coaching stuff. They're all really young. I was like,
The only
I
way
can't,
it'd be is if you gave Kellen Moore like the opportunity just to see what he has. But I
the
mean,
young
even
guy
then,
who still has to deal with the offense. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Georgia will replace the Ravens on Sunday. They are 5-point Georgia, like the Bulldogs. Oh my God. He's saying that basically if the Georgia Bulldogs replace the Ravens on Sunday, they'd still be 5-point
Oh,
favorites. I think that's what Athir's saying.
I get it at there. I don't think so. I don't believe in that narrative that college football teams could be as good as
Yeah, there's
the
no way.
Panthers are 1-9. I don't know about that, but
Yeah. By the way, if he really is one and done, that's nuts.
that's how bad it's got. Like sometimes you
I
gotta just
know.
judge a team by how poorly it went. Like with the Raiders and McDaniels, it was 2 years. So
Yeah.
with Staley
Well, year and
getting
a half.
three, like say like the Panthers fire Frank Reich after 1 year, or the Bears with Matt Eberflus after 2 years, and over there with Staley and the Chargers with 3 years, it's kind of like, ooh, not a good look.
I mean, and that's the thing. If Frank Reich does he get another job as an OC somewhere,
He's been
that's
so
gonna be
bad, like as a head coach at least.
I know. Yeah, no, I completely agree. All right, Gilbert, let's move on. Again, we appreciate you guys so much for chilling with us on Monday. Joe Burrow, man, this game was crazy. I mean, there was a lot riding on this game. Obviously, it wasn't sole possession of first place, right, Gilbert? It was
No, because the Ravens had a pretty big lead, but it could have like
yeah.
maybe changed the outcome of the division, especially if Joe Burrow was healthy and they
Yeah,
won
because
that game.
the Ravens were 7-3 going into the game, and the Bengals were five
5 and
and
4.
four. Oh, actually, well, no, because I don't think the Ravens have taken a bye week yet. So,
No,
but I mean, it would have gotten
after the
them.
Chargers game.
Yeah, yeah, okay, there you go. It got them one game closer, but it was one of those games where it kind of seemed like at the beginning, Burrow was kind of, I mean, Lamar Jackson was kind of struggling. He goes into the 10th. They had some injuries. But Gilbert, I mean, everybody knows what happened in the game, but I think we have to talk about, by the way, Odell Beckham Jr., 4 catches, 116. I was surprised. Like, I thought Odell Beckham was a one trick pony, and that was basically it for him. But he performed in this game. But Gilbert, where does this leave the Cincinnati Bengals after Joe Burrow's injury? Dan Dago has a great idea for who should be their next quarterback. But
Or the Bengals, like right
yeah,
now,
yeah,
not
he
Jake
said
Browning, I'm assuming.
no, he
Oh,
said
okay, I know what you're talking about.
he just had his 10th kid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, can you imagine if he just goes out there in the Bengals uniform? It's like with those receivers, I bet you he's like, even he could get something going there.
I don't know. I've seen some pictures of Phillip Rivers. He does not appear to be in game shape, but
That's
was
what
he
I
ever in
thought
shape as a
too.
quarterback? I don't know.
Like he hasn't. Yeah, I'm like, have you really retired or what's going on with you? Because you don't look like you're in game. And then he probably gained baby weight. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
if we're being honest,
but
I'm
I don't
surprised he's
know.
not bigger. By the way, I mean, with the 10 kids, 10 times baby weight. I mean,
Uh,
but
I'll put it this way: Phillip Rivers will do way better than Zach Wilson, your boy, who finally got benched. I'm just tired of watching the guy play. But to answer your Bengals question, yeah, I think the Bengals are done for the season. Especially like maybe they were like like with the Browns were with the Deshaun Watson going down, they were like 7-3, 6-4. Like okay, you have a chance. And then with the Bengals being 5-5 with Jake Browning with a very difficult schedule, I'm like, yeah, that's not it. And then when Browning threw that touchdown to Jamar Chase and he kind of just got the ball and he just threw it. Like, that told
Dennis,
me
you're
everything. Like,
foul.
what was that?
Dennis, you were foul.
What
You
did he
were
say?
you were foul.
Oh
No,
yeah,
no, no, you're foul.
yeah.
Oh,
Logan
my-
Wilson did a lot of damage in that Thursday night football game.
he
What was it?
did.
Mark
He did.
Andrews, Lamar Jackson, and somebody else. I think he kind of gave
No,
up.
Dennis, he's happy coaching Gunner down in Alabama. That's the thing. Have you seen the film on Gunner? Gunner throws exactly like that, like Daddy does. No,
Hey,
he's
maybe it could be like Jeff Saturday, just come in for like 4 or
no,
5 games, and then
hell no. No, I think he's happy coaching Gunner, and I think he wants to see Gunner grow up and play. And hey, he might have to be the head coach until his 10th kid, because it's a boy, goes through there and plays at St. Michael's. So, but my bad, Gilbert, I cut you off.
no, I'll go to the Ravens, but the Bengals are done. Like I don't need to
Yeah.
see more of Jake Browning, but I
And
am
then
kind of
it's kind of gonna go like T. Higgins might not come
yeah, it's
back.
gonna be a
Now what's
new
gonna
look.
I mean,
They got the
it's
Burrow contract, you have to work around, but let me
oh,
get
Jets fans would be pissed if Tim Boyle comes in and
whoa,
starts winning
I
games.
didn't even think about that.
I think fans are gonna be pissed that they didn't go to him quicker than that. So yeah, I completely agree. I agree with this.
But you know what, with the Ravens, I don't know how I feel about them, Fernando, because it's kind of setting up for them to win maybe or at least go to the AFC title game, like Ravens Chiefs, because I don't see the Bills waking up after firing, Ken Dorsey. Do you really? I know you're kind of more a bigger Jaguar supporter than I am, but do you really see them doing something against the Ravens or the Chiefs? The Dolphins can't be anybody with a winning record. Maybe
With the
the Chiefs,
Ravens and the Jaguars, I have to wait until that game in Jacksonville. That game is
they
gonna
do
decide.
play each other. So
Yeah.
I did like it. The Calvin Ridley finally woke up and Trevor Lawrence did something.
Well, that's because what's his name isn't Zay Jones, I think. I think he didn't play or
Yeah,
something like
he has a
that.
bunch of issues, but
Yeah.
I
So
just
they're
don't know how to feel. But I like the Jaguars. I don't know how I feel about them playing the Ravens. And then you maybe like a CJ Stroud could get them like fits, but they'll probably lose in the end because they're so young. But it's shaping up to be Ravens Chiefs. And if you go down that path, I'm gonna pick the Chiefs all day. Like I'm with you, Fernando. I've seen this movie before. I don't know if this team could play from behind. And I don't know if they're kind of frauds defensively because they don't have a lot of talent or youth. Like the Chiefs have talent and youth. Like these draft picks, they're hitting. And then with the Ravens, it's more like they're well coached, they're getting schemed up. And sometimes you can have a day off and it could bite you in the postseason if you don't have talented playmakers. So I like that the Ravens are in a good spot. They're winning their games, they're handling business. And maybe kind of one weird take. What if the Mark Andrews injury makes Lamar go deep and pass him more to, like you mentioned, OBJ? And it's kind of like a weird like blessing in disguise. I don't know if I buy that enough while I'm saying it, but that Mark Andrews injury could maybe haunt them for the rest of the season.
that's gonna hurt them huge. And I saw that he might be able to come back if they make a run and stuff. And I'm with you. I really do think. I mean, the Chiefs have kind of separated themselves a bit, but it's not even that big of a separation. But I do believe that I do believe that the Ravens do have some players, but that Mark Andrews injury just hurts a lot more, just because of like you said, like that's a security blanket. That's the
He knows
guy
how
that
to
he
block
goes
too
to.
for the running game.
Exactly. So you've lost him. I know they have some other injuries here and there. So yeah, that one just hurts. Zay Flowers is obviously a player. Odell's kind of lately been playing a lot better, but they need some other guys to step up and kind of help them out. I saw Gus Edwards. He has like a bunch of touchdowns in like the last like 5 or 6 weeks. Like he's really turned it on. So because I mean, obviously you feel that J.K. Dobbins just hasn't gotten it going. Such a big part of this offense, and
He's been
he's
hurt, no,
just not
right?
there.
Or did he get
Yeah,
back?
no, he tore his Achilles. He's actually he's actually working out with Aaron Rodgers
Oh
out
yeah, I
here in
saw that.
LA.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, wow, Dennis, you're buying it. You're buying into that Raiders. You're buying that Raiders.
5-5.
Yeah, I guess he's
Hey,
buying into the
when I said
Raiders.
the Raiders are gonna, the Raiders are gonna be respectable before the season, this kind of type of play was what I imagined. I didn't
Stop.
imagine Josh McDaniels messing it up. I'm trying to cover my butt here for that
Yeah,
take.
I know you are. Get them off. Get them off. I don't
Yeah.
want to see the Bengals on primetime anymore. Fuera, like Don Francisco used to say. No, yeah, no.
Hopefully, they need more flexes in these primetime games. They're just committed right now.
No, I know. The only one that I told you they're not gonna flex out, like I've already said, is that Chargers Bills game. That one they've been promoting it
Josh
since.
Allen.
Yeah. Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. That's why last week you were right when it was asked, "Hey, do you think they could flex out Jacksonville and Houston for Chargers Baltimore?" Like you said, Lamar Jackson and Justin Herbert. Why would you flex that out? Like
Yeah,
it's
and I know the Chargers are not like, having a winning record, but it's still
yeah,
good quarterback matchup kind of sells, you know.
exactly. And I mean, the last 2 games, Herbert's put up 6 touchdowns to 1 interception. And so I mean it's gonna be a lot of offense. Athir always is on your side. He
All
said
aboard,
Stroud
CJ Stroud.
for MVP. Yeah, he threw 3 picks yesterday, didn't he?
Yes, he did. But
Kyler Murray's Cardinals. Interesting.
yeah,
But
but
but they won the
Nico
game.
Ryan's maybe coach of the year. How about that?
That one, no, and you know what? I mean, I just don't want them to be like, oh, here you go, Patrick Mahomes. Here's another MVP just for shits and giggles. Like the way they've done it with LeBron a couple of times, where it's like, oh, hey, we don't have anybody else. LeBron, here you go. Here's an MVP. Like
Maybe the winner of tonight's game might be the MVP favorite. Who knows?
oh,
Nobody wants it apparently.
AJ Brown. Zay Flower. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's gonna be that's definitely gonna be
Man, it was right there for him, man.
Oh wow, the Texans do not have any primetime games.
Yeah, I think maybe one of 2 teams, or maybe the only team that didn't have one. Which who would have thought that?
Yeah, that's interesting. Myles Garrett for MVP. You know what, Myles Garrett has been.
Might as well.
Did you see that video that like?
Oh, he picked up the helmet, and they're like, no, give me that.
No, not that one. So you were in Oklahoma, so you might have not seen it. There was a video of him like standing there in gray shorts and like without a shirt on or anything, just standing there taking questions, and like everybody was like going berserk about it. And I was like, oh god, he's just standing there shirtless, like just standing there. Like the dude looks like a human, like he's huge. Like the dude's just yeah. So yeah, it just Omar, obviously we can't answer that because I mean they still have a head coach, so we can't get into that. Like if you ask us about the Raiders, then we could say something because they have a head coaching opening, but we can't right now. So the Jags better enjoy the division. Houston is coming. So now you go to so now you're jumping over to Houston. First of the year, you're over here about the Ravens. Now all of a sudden you're a Houston guy. Man, you're jumping all around.
I feel like the winner of that game, I'm going to take seriously. Like I don't know about the Jaguars or the Texans just yet, but the winner, all right,
it's in Houston, right?
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, fine. Maybe that winner could win one playoff game. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's go to the next one, Gilbert. The
Oh yeah, actually, we haven't talked to Rams in a minute. For some reason, you
Yeah,
keep beating the Seahawks. I don't know what to make of this. Pete Carroll, Sean
I
McVay.
know what to make of it.
Okay.
Geno Smith is not a good quarterback.
All right, all right.
I'm sorry, but
He's better
like,
than Drew Lock. When he came in, he was awful.
dude, Dan Dago was he's like, this is the reason why they sent you in that trade for awful Russell Wilson. But they are like, dude, they should have beaten the Bengals a couple of weeks ago. But Geno Smith in crunch time just couldn't get it going. He
No,
couldn't
you're right.
muster up anything. Same thing happened in this game, and kudos to the Rams. I mean, those guys are playing hard-nosed football. They're doing a good job. What happened? Why did that Rams player intercept the ball and start talking crap on the sideline? Like, did you see
He's
that play?
he's one of those guys that he likes to talk
Oh, okay. So he's
DK
kind of like a Jalen Ramsey kind of guy.
a little bit. Who got mentored by Jalen Ramsey last year. But he
Ah,
commits a lot of flags, but he's competitive. He's feisty. Darion Kendrick, his name is, with the other DK. But yeah,
I could tell you saw that comment. Some Lions fan called him Barney Gumble one time.
blind with Barney Gumble.
Yeah, like I was like, Jesus, dude, like I don't know. It just it's I don't know why Lions fans are coming after him. But yesterday, I mean, Flacco golf didn't look all that good. I mean, they won the game at the end, but that's just because Chicago couldn't. That's the second time this year that Chicago has a big lead on somebody and they come back and beat them. But I have to give credit to the Rams. I mean, they really have fought hard. They're I mean, I don't know how if they're happy about winning or not, just because I mean, obviously
Yeah. By the way, that if Geno Smith didn't know he was right about the communication being off, and you're the one that called the running play, yeah, you're awful, Geno Smith. Why would you call a running play in that situation?
um uh I mean, Matthew Stafford had a decent game. Puka Nacua kind of got it going a little bit, but this is all on the Seahawks. This is on the Seahawks losing this game. There was a bad throw by Matthew Stafford where I just saw kind of out of the corner of my eye. That wasn't the play design, right? Because I was writing and stuff. Like he handed it off to like 16 threw it back to him, and then he threw it down the field, and then Witherspoon intercepted it.
Yeah, when he
That
took that
wasn't a
big
play
hit,
Yeah, that wasn't a play design, right? Like that
I don't even
was
know what the heck happened on that one, but
okay, because I was like, dude, what this looked like? It just like it was kind of a cluster, but I was just I wasn't surprised that I was a little bit surprised that the Seahawks didn't put up more of a fight and win that at the end. But I mean, it's just one of those things where the Seahawks are kind of paying the price for not having a quarterback in a sense.
they might miss the playoffs round. You look at the next 4 games. They got the 49ers on Thanksgiving. They play the Eagles, I think, after that. The 49ers again and the Cowboys. Like, what if you go on 4 and then you let like a team like maybe the Rams was sneaking? I don't
You'd
know
be
who's gonna
six
make
and
it.
seven, right?
Yeah, so they could
Ooh,
obviously win 1, but I don't see them winning 2 out of those 4. I don't know about
you should save that take about the Rams making the playoffs for Dan and Dago. He'll like that.
I honestly, the Rams should have lost that game. It's just the Seahawks couldn't do anything. Like Sean McVay on that final drive, like that was one of the worst. He's had some bad moments, but like I know he was trying to get aggressive, but like he did not play that right. And
I
then it
think the
gave him an
Seahawks
opportunity.
lost that game. Like the Seahawks totally lost that
Oh
game.
yeah, it was kind of like I told Victor in House of Horns, like whoever had the ball last and made the final mistake, the other team's gonna win. That's
Yeah.
what it turned out to be because they on that situation with the run play, like you could have saved yourself
Yeah.
more time, and then when he spiked it, like you spiked it with 8 seconds, go take one more shot and then give your kicker a little more leeway. But I get Jason Meyer was making a lot of field goals. I get that you played it too safe, but it felt like the last mistake was gonna be the one that's gonna decide the game.
You know, it's funny. So Jason Myers went to the school that little Daniel went to school at
Oh,
the high
really?
school. Yeah, he's from Chula
Oh.
Vista. So as soon as he missed it, Daniel and obviously little Daniel went to the different schools. So he just like
I
he
can
crapped
imagine.
all over him. He's
Yeah.
like, there you go. He's like, that's the kind of player that this school allows. And
Yeah, he got me 15 points in fantasy. He was drilling 50 yards before that miss. So
dude, if you had the
Will Lutz?
Broncos kicker,
Yeah.
Will Lutz, you probably got a crap ton of points too. Like the dude literally it was
He
all
made 5 field goals,
until
I
the end.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, until the end. But yeah, just a bad miss by Myers. But like you said, like they should have, dude, like football 101. But I guess it's just this one I do agree with. I do agree that they could
Yeah.
I do.
Tough loss yesterday, but then they're gonna be in the mix, I think.
Yeah, no, and honestly, they showed a lot of grit last night against the Broncos, but
What
this
if the
is
Broncos make it in? That'd be kind of a wild story if they do.
I wouldn't put it back. That's why when I started seeing a couple of weeks ago Charger fans like being like, "Hey, I think we got the better end of not trading for Sean Payton." And I'm like, here it comes. And they've turned it around, and Sean Payton has those guys believing. I mean, literally, it's like Russell Wilson, don't F it up. Just go
Mhm.
out there, play, just don't F it up. Like he's literally Peyton Manning from that
Yeah.
last season with the Broncos. Like,
He's like a game manager for 3 quarters and a half, and then okay, now it's crunch time. Make a couple plays if you want, and he does. He's been doing it.
by the way, Chris Collinsworth last night, Jesus, like in one of the, I bet you wish you had Justin Jefferson on that field.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it works
Josh
out
Dobbs
here.
he hasn't even played with him. Like, what are you talking about? And then they cut over to him, and he's wearing the sunglasses and everything. And I was like, geez, dude, like Chris Collinsworth, come on, man. Like, come on, man. Like, it was just
You know what the Broncos problem was that we kind of all forgot was like Sean Payton was talking a big game too soon. Like he was like, you know what, I'm gonna fix everything here. We're gonna spend money, and Hackett, you suck. And you probably walked in like, oh crap, there's more work to be done, and it
yeah.
took longer than expected. But we should give him credit for like, okay, you are a better coach. You know how to establish things in the long term, but don't be running your mouth too soon and then get beat down 70-20 to the Dolphins. That's I think we all kind of overlooked the Broncos, and now they're winning games here. But yeah, I know we're talking Rams Seahawks, but
Thier, thank you so much, man. We appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Happy Thanksgiving to your family. We will enjoy the food. I won't enjoy as much of it, but yeah, enjoy the football. God bless you too. Appreciate you so much, and hopefully you can make it back and still leave your comment on
yeah,
the videos though, Thier. We still want your comments. We'll show them on the show sometimes if you ever have questions and stuff. But we will miss you, Thier. You
I'm
make
gonna
this
say his work
fun.
schedule changed and he can't make it on Mondays.
Yeah, I know, for real. But yeah, no, and you just have to give credit to the Rams for fighting. And I told you that's why I've been telling Rams fans, like, don't go away. Like they're building something there. I think they're gonna be okay. I think they're gonna be fine. Obviously, we don't know if Sean McVay is gonna want to stay there or not, but I think they have a bright future. They have some players that Puka Nakua. They have some other pieces. They're building something there with the Rams. So I'm definitely I'm not low on the Rams. I just think that they still have a little bit to go, but they have less need. They have some good they have good minds in there. So I'm 100% thinking that the Rams are going to be back pretty soon. I'm wondering what's going to happen now with Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, their futures and everything. And I'm not saying that Sean McVay's a bad coach or anything, but I mean he just may want to take time to be there for his kid while they're growing up and maybe go into the booth or who knows. I mean, it just anything can happen. But all right, Gilbert, last down.
Yeah, what have we got? Oh yeah, kind of a snoozer, but Browns and DTR beat the Steelers.
I mean,
Both teams in the playoffs currently, which I don't want to see either team, by the way, in the playoffs. But
Vic,
we'll
I don't know
talk
if
about it.
I don't know if it was you and me, but I remember I went with the Browns in this one, and I remember you said, "Oh, Deshaun Watson isn't going to play," and I'm like,
Oh
"Crap!"
yeah, you didn't care.
But
Nobody cares though. It didn't matter.
yeah, no, it didn't matter. Like I was like, "Wow!" And Dan and Dago last night he was angry at Kenny Pickett
Yeah, he's
because
awful, man. I
yeah
did.
he.
I picked the Browns. I think. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay,
I don't. I forgot
okay.
my other ones, but it was kind of a so-so week for me.
Yeah, but I mean it's just crazy to see the way the Steelers have kind of been rolling and now, but it gives credit to the Rams and that defense. I mean, I know their defensive coordinator is
How about the Browns?
yeah. I know
I'm
we
glad.
know the name. Oh, Jim Schwartz.
There you
Well,
go.
yeah, like I
Done a
still
great
remember
job.
when Jim Harbaugh, like, remember the when it was that on Thanksgiving? I can't remember when he goes up to shake his hand
Oh
and he kind
yeah.
of moves him out of the way, and then Jim Schwartz runs over and starts like yelling at him or
Was he
whatever.
with
It
the
was not.
Lions in it? I forget
It,
what
yeah,
it
he
was.
was the Lions head coach, but Jim Schwartz is gritty. Jim Schwartz wears his feelings on his emotions on his sleeve. Like that dude, he really is a guy that I'm not surprised that they're doing what they're doing right now. Definitely Dennis, I can't ask that, bro. Like I appreciate you, but I can't I'm not gonna do that. Like uh
What is it?
um yeah, no,
Imagine.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I
I
can't.
hope somebody like just asks like, "Oh, I missed it. What happened?" And ask.
Uh, Chile, come on, bro. Our guy from Chile. What are you doing? But I definitely I the Browns are showing grit, dude. I mean, and I know Kevin Stefanski's been under fire and everything, but what are they now at? 7-3? I mean, there's no way. There's no way they're gonna fire him. And
He's doing a good
I'm
job.
just Huh? Yeah,
He's
no,
doing a
he's
good
done a
job.
really good job. I'm very hey, we appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Yeah, no, definitely hopefully Dublin gets an international game. Oh, are you from Dublin? That's awesome. Hey, that'd
That's cool.
be Oh wow, yeah. Had a big watch party in Ireland last night. That is awesome. Thank you so much for jumping on and chatting with us. Thank
Yeah, I
you.
think I was
We're
at
here
the
every Monday.
airport. Was it a couple days ago? And I think Ireland was playing somebody, and I was just watching it. It was, I think maybe the Netherlands. I forget. Let me know if I'm right or wrong, but that could
I'll
be it.
let you know. But happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, thank you so much over there, man. So I went to Ireland. Dan and Dago and I went 1 year. It was honestly, Dan and Dago picked the Steelers. Fernando
Wah,
Gilbert and
wah,
Vic picked
wah.
the Browns. I loved Ireland. I think it's awesome. Dublin. I went to
Oh, I got it
Belfast.
right. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you got it right. It was awesome. So thank you so much for that. That's honestly, we appreciate it. Um, Jesus.
Oh, Dennis.
Dennis, it wasn't even
Yeah, it wasn't him.
him. It was Chris Rim from the ESPN. So but all right. But definitely but yeah, Jim Schwartz deserves a lot of credit. Kevin Stefanski deserves credit. But I still think the Steelers are a formidable opponent. Obviously, they have a good defense, but Kenny Pickett, man. I mean, I just don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah. Like at this point, it's like just can both of them. Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett, see you later. Mike Tomlin, please do something about this. And it's so frustrating because I know Mike Tomlin's going to do enough with that defense to make the playoffs. But when they get in that first round, they're going to be 2 versus 7, either the Ravens or the Chiefs or whoever. They're going to get crushed, but they can't score more than 10 points. They can't gain 300 yards. So, Steelers, please stop wasting my time. Fade away slowly into the night and don't go into the postseason. Nobody wants to see you in the playoffs. So, in the Browns, I trust them because they're 7-3, a better record. The defense can make turnovers, and then they have a good running game too. And I know DTR wasn't great, but those 4 passes on the final drive show they could do something. I have more faith in the Browns doing something because they know how to scheme up a better offensive game plan. Whatever they're doing over there, Fernando, you and I could do better. Like it could be Dan at center, Victor at left tackle, you calling the plays. Well, I'll call the plays. I don't have a good arm. You could be the quarterback. How about that? We'll still have a better offense than the
There
freaking
you
Steelers.
Yeah, because of right now, let me see. As of right now, yeah, the Browns are in the playoffs. Man, that's gonna be interesting because the Browns defense is good enough to go up against anybody. But
That's why they're
yeah,
always going to have a chance. It's just
right
they
now
don't
the
have the
Steel,
quarterback.
right now the Steel. So I think the Bills will jump in and take that seed from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Broncos are coming. I think the Colts. You know what's funny? I don't think the Colts are half bad, to be honest. I think the
They have
Colts
a chance.
could get in there. But yeah, like you said, Houston, Cleveland. I think that last seed is kind of what everybody's going to be fighting for. With
Ooh, I would
Buffalo,
love to see
Indy, and Denver.
Bills 7 seed and the Ravens 2 seed. That'd be a fun little matchup in the first round.
That actually would be a really good first matchup. I'd be all for it. Too bad I'd love to see an 7th seeded Bills be able to face a number 1 seeded oh my God, Steelers have the same playbook from 65. Well, they do. I mean, to be honest, like they have had only 3 head coaches in their history. So, I mean,
They
yeah,
just
you're
pass it
one of
down on
them.
the way out. Okay, from Coward to Mike Tomlin, take this.
Yeah, yeah, no, I completely agree. But all right, folks. Well, anything else, Gilbert, on this matchup?
No, I'm done. We're ready for your press conference, Fernando. We
Yeah,
all are eager to watch, and hopefully, something epic is gonna occur for this press
stop.
conference.
We appreciate you guys so much for jumping on and listening to Overreaction Lunas with the Compas. Hopefully, you guys will come back next week. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Don't forget, Compas on the Beach drops 6 week. Don't forget to check it out on Wednesday. It'll be everybody on there, so we'll see what the guys have to say. But again, thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your week. It's only Monday, but it's starting the weekend, so thank you guys and have a good one.